Go ahead, Elder Kennedy.
Yeah, mine, I wanted to answer regarding rapture. A rapture is not real. It's just a inversion of what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be the other way around. The people who are righteous are supposed to remain. The people who are unrighteous are supposed to be taken away. And it's currently happening. As you can see, the aeroplanes are falling, the war is coming up, pandemic is about to start. So that's rapture, but on it's happening in the opposite way. The unrighteous will leave the earth. The righteous will inherit the earth. The world goes through phases. Every 2,000 years, there is a circle that repeats itself. So when it happened during the Noah's time, it's supposed to happen this time. If Sodom was destroyed and Adam was left, it means that the same thing must happen, that the unrighteous must be destroyed and the righteous must inherit the earth. How do you inherit the earth? By going to heaven, and the kingdom of heaven should come on earth. So what's happening is the change of vibration, the way you have said. What's happening is the change of authority. For the last 500 years, we've been under the rulership of Satan. And now we are handing off, the power has been handed over to the Most High. The kingdoms are coming up. Every tribe, every nation has its own righteous people. These righteous people will wake up and will remove the unrighteous people from the earth. And then the whole kingdom of the earth, with all the nations in place, will welcome Christ. So it's not rapture that the people who are righteous will leave the earth. No. It is the other way around. The people who are unrighteous, the people who are in the 3D will leave. We are actually moving from 3D vibration to 5D vibration. We call it the age of Aquarius, where truth is everything. That's why you cannot do anything and hide. The moment you just hide it, and there's a camera somewhere exposing it, because you are now in the 5D dimension. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that comment. Elder Kennedy, yes. And to that, can y'all hear me?
Can hear you? Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Can hear
thank
you.
you. Okay, yeah. And to that, yeah, I agree 100% with that. What you just said, Brother Kennedy, it's a change. And back to what Pastor Kazay said, this is about a change. They told us it was a rapture. But when you go back in the language and let me also give credence to some of the things that what Elder Patrick said as well. The language can really modify meanings. I'm put it like that. The language can modify meanings. The language can mislead people. And so this term rapture has really been a misleading term to us in what they call Christianity or the awakening, or they lump everything together now. So but in all of this, those terms have really been confusing, because if you go back to the original, even if you just went just to the original KJV, that word is not even there. The word rapture is not even in the original KJV. That word was added sometimes later. And it is a misleading term. And as Pastor Kazay said, there is a change that's coming. That's what's happening. And we're all feeling it. And as Kennedy said, the unrighteous is going to exit stage left. They're going away. They're going to go away. They're going to leave the earth. But in Christianity, they taught us that we were going to leave the earth. Well, why is it that we were going to leave the earth and they built underground bunkers, but they don't want to leave? I'm sorry. They don't want to leave the earth. They want to stay. And we know they want to stay because if they didn't want to stay, they wouldn't go to the lengths of trying so hard to protect their lives here on the earth. If the rapture was, if this concept as they've given it to us was really true, they would not do that. Why would your creator create an earth and then nobody can be on it because everybody's going to go to heaven? Everybody's going to leave earth and go to heaven. So, I think if we just stop, slow down, and ask ourselves some questions when we're reading these scriptures, it would open up expand our thinking. And when we expand our thinking, it leads us to thought, ideas, and we begin to come up with questions that lead us on a journey to go seek answers. So that's what I think about it. We're seeing a change in the system. The government is changing. The leaders are going to change. When the scripture said, "You shall be the head and not the tail," that means you have been at the tail end. That means there's a people that can be identified as the tail. And if you look at the people that are ruling now, how can you put those people in that scripture? How can you fit them there? How can you say they shall be the head and not the tail when they're already the head and they've always been at the head? They've never been beneath. There are so many scriptures, so many breadcrumbs that tell us that these are not the people that are in the position of leadership now are not the people. And things are overturning and they can't stop it. So we're seeing a lot of movement. I'll just put it like that and get them. Vanessa, go ahead.
Just wanted to add to what you and Elder Patrick and Kenneth was saying. When Kennedy said, we're in the age of Aquarius. You all know, I sing and stuff like that. But going back to my childhood and listening to the lyrics of when the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love, yes, love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. We didn't have a clue. One of the things they want to get rid of is our music. And not that all of our music is good, because where rap was concerned, rap came in to truly enlighten us. It was to say in rhyme powerful things. But when they get their hands in it, of course, they take what was meant for good, they take it and turn it around and make it evil. So now hip hop is evil and it's filled with sex and it's filled with all of these different things. But Elder Matabi even shared with us before many of you came on rap video from one of us that was so powerful. The lyrics, just as hard as they come with their sin, we've got to come just as hard with the word. We got to come just as hard with this truth of who we are to help open and wake all of we up. This is truly the age of Aquarius, where we're watching everything fall around us. But we yet still have to stand. But how do we stand? We must come together, Africa and African Americans, everywhere in the world, Afro-Caribbean, Hispanic, Dominican, or whatever. We've got to come together and put all of these things that they want to use to separate us. So one of the things that came to mind when you were talking is the Hutsi and the Tutu. How the Dutch came in and separated them because they told the Hutsi, I believe, you look more like us, you act more like us, so you're better. And they plant these seeds of discord between us, and that's really what I want to talk about a little bit is we as African Americans, we have a way. And when we go into different people's spaces or countries or whatever, if you're not willing to learn their language, their culture, what they eat, how they greet each other, do they hug? Do they kiss each other on the cheek? How do the brothers greet each other? How do the women greet each other? What's the community like? It's important for us to know those things, because you're not just going to go in the land, just not, I'm bringing my American ways with me. No, 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 no. No. You don't go to somebody else and tell them, you're going to eat what I eat. You're going to do what I do. That's not the way it works. We want to learn and know the culture of Africa. I don't ever want to step on anybody's toes. In being kind or hospitality, I want to know. I want my African brothers and sisters to know that everybody in America ain't crazy. All of us are not crazy. There's a bunch of us that are. We don't even want to be around. We don't even want to be around them. But we want y'all to know that we love you and we appreciate you. And when Elder Patrick comes on, I so look forward to him speaking, because I know he's going to come with a different vibe. And that vibe is a vibration. It's not this thing that's separated from spiritual walk. And some people get, well, I don't like when you say spiritual vibe. We are all a vibration. That's science. Every last one of us. So what comes out of your mouth, if you're constantly saying negative things, you're going to get what you say. Because words have power. Words have power. So if you say negative things, I'm broke all the time. Guess what? You're going to be broke. I'm sick. Oh, I was sick as a dog. I thought I was going to die. You keep saying that a couple of times, you just might. But in this awakening, I just love the fact that everybody's coming from a different area in the world, a different place, but we're all coming together with this truth. And that is what makes it so fantastic in Ghetto.
Thank you for that. Anyone else have something they want to share? Go ahead, Mathavi.
Mine is a question, and this is to everybody. What's been the reaction from your friends and family when you started trying to tell them about this awakening message? The fact that, Africa is the promised land, the Bantus are the Israelites, there's a bunch of books or scriptures that have been modified or missing, removed, added, or telling them, Christ and all the Israelites are black. What's been the reaction you've gotten from your friends, family, whoever? And then I see Michael has a question. Michael, go ahead. Oh, I see many hands. Did I pick enough? Oops. Okay. That's my question. But Michael and Kevin can go ahead.
I was going to ask a similar question. That was a big thing with me, is the reaction to family. So that was part of my question too. Like, what was the initial response from your close members? And my mother, she thought I was going to devil worshiping or something. She had no idea, and her reaction wasn't negative. It was really watchful. If that makes any sense, it was really what I mean. And she was not missing with her words. She told me what she thought it was, or she had no clue, but she watched. And and then there was no more. What are you doing? It was more watching. Like, she saw something happening, and then it was just a watch with this gaze of awe. Like, she had no negative questions, no negative statements, anything, but she watched, and it was standoffish, as close as we were and still are. She watched, and it was different to see her watch me, but she watched. She said what she thought at the beginning. Believe me, She didn't miss her words at all, but she watched. And so that was when you started on and asked that question. That's a big one for me. I would like to know how are your close relatives or close friends and those who was closest to you when you started on the journey or as you went through? How did they react? You get that.
I think you can go to Calvin as we wait for
Calvin,
more
go ahead.
responses. Calvin.
And then Elder Mikhailo.
Yeah, mine was just about what Mama Tuzola was asking about the rapture. Um, you know, this I think we're intentionally taught the whole thing about the rapture and being caught up in the sky, going to heaven, and all that kind of stuff. And you know, in 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 the teaching, when Christ was teaching, when he said that just like in the days of Noah, and all these guys who preach the whole thing about rapture, that they like to use that verse that Christ used about being just like in the days of Noah. But we know very well, just like Brother Kennedy mentioned, that in the days of Noah, Noah is the one who was left. He's not the one who went. He was left. So if we are going with that teaching, we cannot say that those people who are we call ourselves Christians are going to go and leave the evil ones on this earth. You know, there's a Bible verse that you rarely ever hear it being used. It's Psalm 115, verse 16. And it says that God was saying the heavens belong to him and the earth he has given it to us. So very clearly, he's saying that the heaven belongs to him. We are supposed to be here. You know, I don't see why he would have created Adam or created the earth and then create Adam in the earth. Because if we were meant to be in heaven, he would have created Adam in heaven and then brought him to earth. But here he created the earth, then created Adam here to live on this earth. And remember, actually, before the sin of Adam and Eve, there was never supposed to be any death. They were supposed to live forever. Just because of the sin, that's when all these other things came up. So if they did not, there was no sin from them, that was supposed to be where they were supposed to live for eternity. So we would never be hearing about being caught up in the sky and being taken to heaven, because that's exactly what was supposed to happen. So the whole thing of we are supposed to be taken, and I think it's just to make people feel that we are the chosen ones. We're going to be taken out of here, and the bad people will be left here, which is absolutely false. We'll be here, and those who are not living according to the commandments of God, those are the ones who are going to be judged on this earth. They're the ones who will be taken away, and those who are following those commandments are the ones who will be left here for the new earth that we are told there's going to be a new earth and the new reign. That's where we will belong and not being caught up in the sky and being taken to heaven.
What do you want for lunch? You ate yet?
And get the Vanessa. And get that. All right. Elder Mikhailo, thank you. And thank you, brother Kelvin, for that response. I agree with you wholeheartedly. This teaching has really been they just flipped it. They just flipped it. That's all. They did what they're doing now. They, in order to take our place, they gave us their place and they said, we're going to take yours. You go to heaven and we'll be here on this earth. And they made songs about it, and we sang those songs when we all get to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can't get it. Go ahead, Elder Skyaloo.
My experience has been, you talk to family members and you tell them, even, when I first came into this awakening back in 2015, try to tell pastor friends and show them the proof and show them they rejected. But I said it to myself because I knew it was the Mwanda Wavivula that was revealing these things to me when I asked. Because I remember when we had a building and we was no longer able to use this facility, and I told Tata Nzambi, I said, I'm not going to move or do anything until you tell me where to go and what to do. And right then, this happened on a Saturday. I was sitting in my room looking out the window, listening to the birds, and that's where I would meditate and pray. And something came to me. What did the Hebrew Israelites look like? And when I saw that they looked like me, and I started to tell and started gathering information, and then things started opening up more and more and more. And I tried to go to pastor friends and people who I associated with. They didn't want no parts of it. My family members, sometimes when you have family members, and I'm not knocking education, not knocking it at all, but sometimes some people allow their education to override logic. Sometimes Tata Nzambi can use anyone spiritually, but sometimes those who have college degrees and PhDs tend to look at you as, oh, you are not on my level. What can you tell me since you don't have what I have? But Tata can use the foolish things to to confound the wise. And a lot of times, a lot of people and a lot of friends and family members say, well, my grandmother been this I've been knowing this and knowing this all my life, and I'm not willing to change, or I'm not. But sometimes a lot of people don't want to know the truth because they know with the truth comes responsibility and accountability. And sometimes some of us don't want to be held accountable to the things that we do, how we operate, how we move. And so, with me, I tell them, I might tell you 3 times. But after that, I'm not saying anything else to you because you made up your mind on what you're going to do. But long as I continue to walk the walk before you, and they see the difference, people see the difference in each and every one of us. And in their mind, they say to themselves, there's something to this, what they're saying to me. And also, the Moana Revivula will reveal things to them too. But some of us have to make that choice. And some of us to choose to stay where we are. And some choose to follow in the way what Tata Nzambi have us to go. And so, like I say, sometimes, when you come out of family members, everybody's college educated, and yeah, I went to college, but I didn't finish. And it's like the attitude of, what do you know? Who are you to tell me? I have this and I have that behind my name. And so, yes, you come across that. But I know deep within my heart and within my soul that where the direction I'm walking in is correct. And it's going to take something drastic to happen in order for them to realize all along what you've been telling them was the truth. Right. One thing I understand, we cannot make no one do what they do not want to do. And we cannot make no one hear what they do not want to hear. And long as we know that, then we don't feel some kind of way when we get rejected. We just shake off the dust and keep it moving, because Tata and Zombie will have someone with an ear who want to hear what you have to say. And that's how that's the path that I walk. I don't have to open up my mouth and say nothing. Tata and Zombie will draw them to you, because they'll see that light within you shining bright and gravitate to it. And then that's who you know that you're able to talk with and able to give these nuggets to Ngeta.
Ngeta.
Ngeta. Thank you, Elder Mikhailu. So now we'll give time to Michael. Go ahead. Let's see, Michael. Okay. Well, Elder Patrick, go ahead, and then after you, Sister Shelley will go.
Michael is back. Michael is back.
Oh, he's back?
Yeah. He
I was having problems with my microphone.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother Michael.
Can you guys hear me pretty good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I guess my camera and mic are just messing up. Anyway, I had a question again, and it had gotten answered. So I don't want to take Patrick or Shelley. You can come back to me, because I'll have another question. So I'm gonna let it down and let them go, because my question was answered.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, brother. Go ahead, Patrick, Elder Patrick, go ahead.
Thank you, Mama Majizola. The question that was asked is a very strong question, because when we were coming up, we were early in this awakening, and therefore it was a strain on the people that were around us because of our belief system, and we were breaking away from the traditional belief systems. So the question was asked was to how should we move on beyond that point? Because I will tell you the truth, we were called. We had gone south. We were devil worshippers. We were really people who were worshiping something that is not written, and therefore we were really lost. So I will tell you one word. What we'll say. Let's go back to the scriptures, since you are so familiar with the scriptures, and where Yeshua was talking to his disciples, and he said, "Master, why do you always talk in parables? Why do you always talk in parables?" And the only answer he could give them was, because the message is for those that can hear, not for those that can't hear the message. It's the same thing here. You heard the message. The others are yet to hear the message. And therefore you had to go with the message of what was being said. So a lot of people cannot contemplate that, but it also goes back to the scriptures where it says many seeds have fallen on different types of soils. And some of them are awake, some of them are still asleep, some of them are still struggling. It is not your duty to actually go in there, because their experience of how they overcome that to get to where they are, they have to see it in you. They have to see it in you. And now people coming to me saying, explain to us, what is this? Because now they're understanding what was being meant, which you understood way before their time. So it is not something that you can battle with, but it is something that you can put them in your prayers to say, I hope at the time that they will become at a time when they can overcome this awakening and they're able to tell that that's the only part you can play. You don't live for the pundits. You don't live for the system. You are leaving the system and following zombie. Seek ye first my kingdom, and I will give you everything. That's what you have done. So it's a tough thing, but you have to follow it.
Wow, that's good. Thank you, Matondo, for that. Shelley, time is given to you.
Okay, thank you, Mama. I just wanted to give the new people a couple scriptures that you could have concerning the rapture and there not being any rapture, just so that you would be able to share them with others. There's one in Matthew 24, verse 36 to 44. That's a pretty long one, so I won't read that. I'll leave that one for you to read. There's Luke 17, 26 to 30, and I'll read that one for you. It says, "And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it also be in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed." So I just want you to know that the scripture is saying just what the others have said. As in the days of Noah, thus it's going to be. So in the days of Noah, only Noah and his family were saved. Everybody else died. So that's how it's going to be now. Those who are following Christ will be remaining. They will be left behind. Noah and his family were left behind. Everybody else was gone. So the rapture is not as they told us. It's actually the other way around. The ones who are serving the Father will be here, and the others will be gone. There's another scripture in Proverbs chapter 2, verse 21 and 22. It says, "For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it." Okay, so that they're saying again, the righteous will be left, and the others will be taken. So that is really what is going to be. The righteous are not going to be caught up in heaven. The last one I will share with you is from Revelations 5, verse 10, but I'll just read verse 9 for you, because this is when the book was opened in heaven, and only the Lamb, Messiah, was able to open that book. And the elders and everyone in heaven sang when that happened. So verse 9 says, "And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and hast made us unto God our kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth." We are not reigning in heaven. We are reigning on the earth. Heaven is for the Heavenly Father and the angels. The earth is for us. We will be on the earth. He has given us dominion on the earth, because we are going to be here and we are ruling here. When Messiah comes back, he is coming back, and he's bringing those that have gone on before, and they're coming back to wage war on the earth to reclaim everything on the earth. He is not coming back to take us up, to zoop us up. We're not going anywhere. We are staying here. So I just wanted to share those scriptures with you. Ingeta.
Get that.